There's a moment that happens before you notice it. You're standing still, maybe in a meeting, maybe in line, maybe alone in your kitchen. Nothing is wrong, nothing is urgent. And yet, something in you tightens, just a little. Before any thought shows up, before you can explain it, before you call it anxiety, caution, or responsibility. It's the body bracing quietly, automatically. Most of life runs from that place. Not because we're afraid, but because we've learned how to hold ourselves in a way that looks stable, looks respectable, looks finished. This video isn't here to challenge what you've built, or to convince you of anything. It's here to slow things down enough to notice what that bracing costs, and what quietly disappears when life becomes something you manage instead of something that moves through you. This isn't something to agree or disagree with, it's something to watch happen, in real time. If you stay, you may not leave with answers, but you may find it harder to go back to how you were seeing things before. When you hear the word security, what comes to mind? Most people picture something reasonable, a steady income, a role people recognize, a sense that tomorrow won't collapse without warning. Nothing excessive, nothing strange. But notice something. When that sense is threatened even slightly, the reaction isn't about survival. It's not, will I eat? It's, how will this look? What will people think? Where does this place me? A title is questioned, a comment lands wrong, someone younger knows more, someone notices less, and suddenly the body tightens again. At that point, it's no longer about safety. It's about being beyond doubt, beyond embarrassment, beyond being reduced. There's a quiet wish hiding in there, to arrive at a place where nothing can touch you, where you don't have to explain yourself, where your position is settled once and for all. That place sounds like success, like respect, like having made it. But look closely, it's also a place where nothing asks anything of you anymore, no response, no adjustment, no risk of being seen unfinished. It's very still there. And maybe that's worth pausing with, not to judge it, just to notice what kind of life fits inside that kind of stillness. Have you noticed how rarely this pressure feels personal? At work, no one says it out loud. Still, you know what's expected. Be reliable, don't wobble, don't reveal too much uncertainty. You learn it early. The calm one gets promoted, the composed one is trusted. The one who never seems shaken becomes the reference point. No one is forcing this, it's just how things work. Online, it's even quieter. You don't post confusion, you post outcomes, certainty, the version of yourself that won't need explaining. And it's rewarded with approval, with silence, with being left alone. That's the trade most systems offer. If you appear solid, you're granted space. If you appear unsure, you're managed. So we adapt not out of fear, out of intelligence. But over time, something subtle happens. The effort to remain respectable becomes automatic. You stop checking whether it still serves you. It's simply how you stand, how you speak, how you choose. The world didn't trap you. It didn't need to. It only needed to reward stillness, and trust that you'd learn the rest on your own. When did you last realize something only after it happened? Not because someone explained it well, not because you thought it through, but because your body reacted before your mind caught up. Like when you step into cold water, you know it's cold, you've known that all along. But the first second still takes your breath, no idea prepares you for that. Understanding lives comfortably at a distance, it keeps things clean, manageable, safe. You can understand pressure, explain it, name it, even talk about it calmly. And still, the shoulders rise, the jaw tightens, the breath shortens. That's not a failure of understanding. It's just showing you where life is actually being registered. Most of what shapes your day doesn't wait for your conclusions. It moves faster, quieter, through sensation, tension, impulse. And if attention stays only with explanations, experience keeps happening somewhere else. That gap is small, but it's enough to miss what's really taking place. Think about a moment when you felt deeply respected. Not applauded, not praised in public, just quietly regarded as someone who has it together. Notice what happens inside when that respect is present. The posture firms up, the voice steadies. You become careful not to disturb the image. Now compare that with a different moment, one where you felt fully alive, laughing without managing it, moved before you could contain it, caught off guard by affection, anger. In that moment, respect wasn't the point. In fact, it might have been at risk. There's a subtle difference between the two states. One asks you to maintain, the other asks you to respond. Respect tends to reward consistency, aliveness doesn't promise that. So we learn slowly to choose what can be preserved, what can be explained, what won't embarrass us later. Nothing wrong with that, it works. But it also means some moments arrive and find no one home to receive them. They pass by, unclaimed, because they don't fit the version of ourselves we're keeping intact. And that contrast lingers, not as a problem, just as a question that hasn't finished forming yet. Have you ever noticed how calm can mean two very different things? There's the calm that comes after something settles, a long day ends, a difficult conversation passes, the body exhales on its own. And then there's another kind, the calm that comes from not moving too much, not reacting, not letting things get close enough to disturb anything. From the outside, they look the same. Someone speaks evenly, doesn't get rattled, seems grounded. But inside, one kind of calm is soft, responsive. If something knocks, it answers. The other is quiet because the doors are closed, nothing gets in, nothing leaks out. You can feel the difference in small moments. When someone surprises you with honesty, when a situation shifts suddenly, when life doesn't follow the script. One calm adjusts, the other freezes just slightly. That second kind is very reliable, very safe, it holds its shape. And yet, there's a faint sense of distance in it, as if life is happening nearby, but not quite touching. That difference is easy to miss, especially when stillness is praised, but once noticed, it's hard to fully ignore. There's a certain kind of place the mind keeps aiming for, a place where nothing can question you, where your value feels settled, where you no longer have to respond, adjust, or reveal much. It looks like arrival, like being done. But life doesn't gather there. It moves where things are still allowed to shift, where something can touch you, and you don't immediately step back. You don't have to choose anything tonight or tomorrow. Just notice, in small moments, whether you're reaching to be held up or allowing yourself to be held by what's actually happening. One feels firm, the other feels alive. And if you stay with that difference, even briefly, what does it begin to show you?